Hi there, welcome to Code Framer. In this video, we are going to continue exploring examples of list comprehension in Python. In the last video, we understood about the conceptual part of list comprehensions, along with its advantages and disadvantages. I highly recommend you to watch the previous video on this topic, so that it becomes easier for you to understand all the concepts in this video. So without wasting any more time, let us begin. We went through some of the basic examples of list comprehension in the last video. Remember that, almost all the methods that are available for different data types, can be used to create or modify items in a list using list comprehension. So let us explore a few methods that we learned in previous videos, using list comprehension. If we have a list, where items are having unwanted blank spaces at the start and at the end of each item, then we can remove those spaces using strip method. So for example, we have a list called my_list, which contains certain string with empty spaces at the start and at the end. Now, in order to remove these extra spaces, we can write new_list equals square brackets item dot strip round bracket, and then, for, item, in, and then the name of the list, which is my_list. If you print the new_list, then as you can see, all the items in the list are without any empty spaces at the start and at the end. Now if you want to see the difference between my_list and new_list, then let me print my_list. As you can see in the output, items of my_list contains empty spaces, but in new_list, all the empty spaces are removed. I hope that this is clear. Let us explore a few more examples. If we have a list with decimal float values, with fractional part having more than 2 decimal points, then we can convert those items as floating point numbers having only 2 decimal points, using the round function. So for example, we have a list called float_list, which equals list of floating point values with more than 2 decimal points. In order to round the fractional part to 2 decimal points using list comprehension, we can write rounded_list equals square bracket round bracket, and inside the round brackets we can pass the arguments. First argument will be item, and second will be 2. And then, for loop will start, and then we can write item in name of the list, which is float_list. Now if we print rounded_list, all the items in the list will have only 2 decimal numbers in the fractional part. I hope that this is clear. We can also perform type conversions using list comprehension. For example, if we want to convert all the items in float_list to string data type, then we can write string_list equals square bracket str round brackets, and inside the round brackets we can write item, and then the for loop starts, then the item in name of the list, which is float_list. If you print string_list, then as you can see, all the items are of string data type, enclosed in single quotes. The reason that I am showing these examples is because we can perform almost all the operations on list items, containing any form of data, using the list comprehension. So I highly recommend you to practice a little more with list comprehension, and explore other methods that you can use to modify or create list items. This will make you comfortable using it in future. Now let us move on, and explore few more cases where we can use list comprehension. For example, we have a string item in a variable called name, and we want to fetch all the characters of this string, then we can write char_list equals square bracket item for item in, and then the name of the variable, which is name. As you can see in the result, all the characters from the string are stored as items in a list. The important point to note here is that the interpreter allows us to loop through any string value. Hence, using list comprehension, we can easily loop through the string characters, and break the data into list items, in order to perform different operations as required. For example, if you want to convert all the characters in a string to capital letters, then we can write, cap_letters, square bracket, item, dot, capitalize, round bracket, and then the for loop starts, item, in, then the name of the string. As you can see in the result, all the characters of the string value were converted into capital letters, and then they are stored as list items. Similarly, you can use all the methods which are available in string and list data type to perform different operations using list comprehension. By this point, I am sure, you must have started realizing how powerful and effective list comprehensions can be. Let us move forward and see how we can use conditional statements inside list comprehension. For example, we have a list called number_list, which stores certain integer items. Now if we want to fetch only the even numbers from the list, then we can write new_list equals square brackets item for item in, and then the name of the list, which is number_list, and then we can write the if condition. So if item %2 equals 0. The percent is a modulus operator, which is used to find the remainder of the division. So, if the item in the list gives the remainder as 0, while dividing it with 2, then it means that it is an even number. I hope that this is clear. So now if you print the result, then as you can see, all the even numbers are printed. Similarly, if we change the if condition, and replace 0 with 1, then the result will have all the odd numbers in the list. This is because, any odd number when divided with 2, will give the remainder as 1. So as you can see, we can use if conditions inside the list comprehensions. Now let us have a look on how we can use if-else statement inside a list comprehension. Let us take the same list, which is number_list. If we want to write on whether the items of the list is even or odd, then we can write even_odd_list equals square brackets. First we need to write even in single quotes, then if item %2 equals 0, else odd in single quotes. So as you can see, we have written an if-else statement in a single line of code. Then the for loop will start, so we can write for item in, then the name of the list, which is number_list. Now if we print the list, then it will print all the items in terms of even and odd numbers. I hope that this is clear. Similarly, if we want to create a list of odd numbers for a range of 20 numbers, then we can write odd_list equals square brackets item for item in range round brackets, and inside the round brackets we can pass the argument as 20, and then we can write the if condition, which is if item %2 equals 1. If we print this, then as you can see we have all the odd numbers from this range. Similarly we can fetch all the even numbers by changing the result of remainder as 0. By now you must have become extremely familiar with list comprehensions. So as you can see, just by practicing more and more examples, we start feeling comfortable. The last topic, and probably a very important concept that I want to talk about, is list comprehensions can also use the result from a function in order to create or modify the list items. For example, we want to find the square of certain numbers in a list, but we have a separate function which calculates the squared value of any number passed as an argument. Then we can use this function inside the list comprehension expression. So for example, we define a function called square, which accepts some argument, x. It will square the received integer argument and return the result. Now, if we have list called number_list, which stores 3 integer values, 10, 20, and 30. If we want to find the square of all the items in this list, we can write my_list equals square bracket. We can call the function square and pass the item of the list as the argument to this function, and then we can write for item in, number_list. So if you print my_list, you will find the squared value of all the items in the list. I hope that this is clear. Let me give you a slightly more complex example, so that you start feeling comfortable with this concept. If we have a string, and we want to find whether the characters in the string are vowel or not, then we can write a function, isVowel, which accepts any character as an argument, and then we can write if condition, to check if the character belongs to one of the vowel characters, a, e, I, o, u. If yes, then it will return true. Similarly, we can check for capital letters in the elif statement, and finally, we can return false, if the character does not belong to any vowel character. Now we have a string value stored in a variable called my_name. In order to find whether the characters in this string are vowel or not, we can write is_vowel equals, we can call the function isVowel, and we can pass the item as the argument. Then we can write for item in, and then the name of the string variable, which is my_name. As you can see in the result, it will update true and false for each letter in the string on whether it is a vowel or not. For example, C is not a vowel, hence it is false, but O is a vowel, and hence it is true, and so on. I hope that this is clear. There are unlimited possibilities with list comprehensions, and the more you explore it, the more it will fascinate you. I hope that this video made you comfortable with list comprehensions. I am intentionally not discussing multi-dimensional lists comprehension in this video. It will make this concept too complicated for beginners. We will discuss nested loops and nested list comprehensions during NumPy sessions in future. For now, it is more than sufficient to understand the basics of list comprehension, and to bring it in practice. In the next video, we will start learning about other data types in Python. I am extremely glad that we came this far in our learning journey. If you like this video, then click the like button, share it with other code lovers, and subscribe the channel to master programming languages. I will see you soon in the next video, and until then, happy learning.